Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I'm going over the different classes that are available in EverQuest Legends, and I wanted to basically just give a resource for people considering the class so that they kind of have a brief idea of the strengths and things to consider when picking the class in EverQuest Legends, as well as go over some of the combos that I think they fit into well to give ideas for you all. So make sure you appreciate you all checking this out and going over it. So the first thing I kind of wanted to go into was all of the their strengths and the stances that are available to them. So as far as the stances, I've got the Channeler stance. And then for their invocations, they're going to have the Divine Invocation, the Empowering, the Inversion, the Overchannel, and the Recovery. So pretty nice options there. And then as far as what I saw as their biggest strengths would be things like their Promised Renewal spell, which needs no introduction, right? So it's a great spell, does a really big heal after a 12-second delay. I'll go over that a little bit more here on the list. And then they've got plate armor, so it gives them lots of gearing options. They also have really great heals all around besides the Promised Renewal. And then they have really great buffs as well. So kind of going to get into that and show a little bit about what I'm talking about here. So on their spell lists, level 39, they get access to that Promised Renewal. So as you can see off of the EQL wiki, they've got Promised Renewal at 39, which starts out at that 900 mana, has the 5,000 heal after 3 ticks, which is 6 seconds a tick, right? So 12-second duration, and then they get that 5,000 heal. So it says after 18 seconds in there as well, so I found that that depends on when the game tick happens, which you can kind of see with, like, if you have your mana bar tick option in the game options in the game, you can see when that game tick is about to happen. So it'll be between that 12 to 18 second window after you cast it. And as you level this spell up, it's going to give you better mana efficiency on it. I had it down to about 500 with like my focus effects and things like that. So when I kind of did the math there, at let's say it's 900, which I'm going to round to 1,000. So a 5,000 heal for almost 1,000 mana. It's like a 5x on your ratio, which is pretty great. And then as you get it more efficient and healing for more, it gets even better than that. It can critically heal, which is pretty sweet as well. Like typically 5,000 is like a full heal for you, but for things with more health or as the progression of the expansions come out, this thing is going to be able to do massive heals, is what it kind of comes down to. So this is just a build defining highlight for the class. Other stuff, that I wanted to mention that I liked would be like this Words of the Divine spell is cool. It's like a buff, self-only buff that lasts for 120 hits, I believe it was. Yeah, so 120 strikes, and it ends up doing like a weapon strike after you're getting hit. So it's sort of like a damage shield, but it has a chance when you're getting hit to hit them back. I thought that spell was awesome. They've got great buffs for armor, for hit points, for strength, for faster casting on spells with like the Armor of the Piety. I'll find that in there. This Blessing of the Lord Commander, super expensive, lets you heal for like 6 HP when you hit. So 6 HP, very expensive. I didn't find myself casting that often because, that's a lot of mana. I'd rather just take the big heal, but they do get that in a Plane of Sky weapon with a long, like a 10-minute cooldown or something, 15-minute cooldown, but it's a click effect that you can hit them with. So, if you find that you have mana to spare and all you're doing you have to use it for is these heals. It's pretty cool way to mitigate damage. It adds up. Other stuff I liked, so Healing Light, 800 mana, 800 health for the 200 mana. It's like a 4x on your, 4 health per mana sort of a thing. And then this one here, this Celestial Healing, I found I really liked. It has a initial heal that heals. So, oh no, this one is the long duration heal. So it's kind of like a 6 different heals over time. So you can see here it's like saying 720 health over the 24 seconds for 200 mana. It's a nice way if you're, pre-healing, letting the hot tick every tick, pretty nice. And then Echo was the one I was thinking there, where it heals pretty strong up front and then has a couple extra ticks afterwards for the 200. So let's, using their numbers, 600 heal up front and then 2 extra hits for the 260 twice. So you're looking at almost 1,000 health over the duration for 300 mana. So it's like about a 3x, but what's cool with that is it can crit on the initial. You can take the AAs to give you the crits on the heals over time. You can take the AAs to give yourself increased duration, giving you an extra tick of the hot. So all that stuff adds up to making it a really great heal in my opinion. So, that's just a brief thing over on, they're going to have a lot of different spells, personal self-buff for Yalp, giving them a 30, strength and AC. And then the other one would be like the Blessing of the Piety is one that I really like. Let me see if I can find that on here. They have 2 different versions, a lower level one and a higher level one. But essentially it makes it's a personal buff that, well actually you can buff anybody with it, and then it makes them have faster cast speeds on their stuff. So yeah, Blessing and Piety is the low level one here. They have a higher level one as well. So allowing spells to be cast faster for 40 minutes. Works on spells up to 39. The higher level one goes on spells up to like level 55 or something. So pretty sweet all around on that. So good strengths. Clerics are awesome. The things to consider that I found for them was that they have no haste innately. They have no slows innately. When you compare them to something like a shaman, I think that's a huge difference there. They have lower damage because they don't have like some of those things like a druid and a shaman might have in their kit to push out some damage. They do have stuff, but it's just not on the same level, I would say. And then last, I've been putting it in there, no escape, so they don't have like a feigned death or anything like that to get themselves out of combat on their own. So just stuff to consider when you're picking the cleric, weighing them against other classes. And then what I kind of wanted to go over with as far as like combos and stuff that you might consider pairing them up with, or in the trio. Clerics are a great fit for pretty much everybody. It's hard to think of any combo that wouldn't benefit from a cleric. I think some of the bigger ones that you're going to think of would be things like a warrior who mitigates a lot of damage, shadow knights that need a big heal, stuff like that. They're going to go great in for all the casters. If you have like necromancers or wizards, enchanters, things like that. Enchanters is one that I used in a video because you can do like a charm an enemy NPC and use your big cleric heals to keep them up. Clerics are just all around great. If you're going in for heavy DPS like berserkers or rogues, having the cleric heals is something that they're missing in their kit, so adding in a big heal helps out a lot. So all around, clerics are just one of those classes that can fit into any combo, I think, and be great. You know, they're just all around part of the Holy Trinity for EverQuest Legends. So great class, great combo. Let me know in the comments and stuff what combos you guys have come up with. And as always, thank you for watching, making it to the end of the video. Appreciate you a lot, and more to come. Later.